Hello, this is Pastor David Ings coming to you from Momentum Christian Ministries. We're all snowed in, weren't able to have Bible study at Garin Rec tonight, but I wanted to just go over a few things that we covered last week. What you hear is a song. I love this song. I just wanted to play a little bit of this. I'll let you hear it. It says, "You are my strength, strength like no other, reaches to me. You are my strength like no other, strength like no other, reaches to me."
Let's declare it one more time. You are my strength. Come on.
You are my strength. You ought to declare that right now. Strength like no other. It's extraordinary, the strength that we get from God. Reaches to me. Now I love this part right here. We just want to hear this verse. In the fullness of your grace, and the power of your name, of your name, you lift me up. You lift me up. In the fullness, in the fullness, and the power. What do? You lift me up. I love that song. Me up. Listen, we've had I sent on Facebook, I posted several questions to review from last week. One of the questions were, number one, what are the 3 stages of our commitment to Christ? This is real important to know. It's a quiz, but you have it in your notes. The 3 stages of our commitment to Christ are very important that you be well established in the definitions that we gave. To follow him, first to believe him, to follow him, and to serve him. You know, there's a whole nother level. These are different levels of blessings. There's a blessing just for believing in God. As a matter of fact, that's how folks are saved. John 3:16 says that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Well, believing is essential to our salvation. But following him now, because Jesus said, he said, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me." And so what that means is now that you have come to Christ, you've accepted him for who he is, now you got to learn about him. Because no matter whatever age you are today, however long it took you before you came to Christ, think about, even if you're 20 years old or you're 25, think of everything you've done since you were born and since you were in your teenage years, all the habits you've acquired. At best, most of those were contrary to living holy and living righteous and following after God and living a life pleasing to him. None of us did that. That's why it's essential now to come to him and begin to learn how to rethink. Romans 12:1, it says, "I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God." But verse 2 says that you be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So your mind is only renewed by the word. That's why we come. That's why we have Bible study. That's why we come together, so we can be renewed. It's essential. Okay? So we had those three stages are very, very important. So I ask you to write it in your own words. You do have the definitions that I gave you last week. However, use your own words. Make it meaningful to you. What does it mean to believe in him? What does it mean to follow him? And then the third level is so essential. It's to serve him. See, it's a whole nother level of serving the Lord, because some people who both believe and follow. Follow means you may come to church. You know, you go, maybe you go to a lot of churches. Some people do. They go to a couple churches on one Sunday, maybe go to another church. So in that form, they're following Christ. They're following the teachings of God. They may show up to a Bible study here or there, what have you, but they never get to the point where they're serving him. Serving him, the whole definition of serving him is now that you've committed yourself to develop your gifts and your talent in a particular work in the kingdom of God. You're committed yourself to be submitted to a leadership, to a pastor, to a fivefold ministry at a local church, and to develop that way. That's real important, because God is looking for. Jesus said, "Pray you to the Lord of the harvest, who He is. He's the Lord of the harvest, that He may send laborers into His harvest." Send laborers. It's His harvest. So sending laborers, sending those who are willing to work, because that's another level of sacrifice. But it's also another level of understanding, blessings, and that follow serving the Lord. It's a lot of protection. The benefits are insurmountable when you serve God in this fashion. And some people never make it to that point because they're not willing to make that commitment. They were fine to show up periodically, sitting back at a church with a Bible, maybe quote some scriptures or what have you, get excited about the spiritual moments. But there's a whole nother level of spiritual maturity where you can now serve. Because now this you write this down. This is important. To serve now challenges your character. Challenges your character, and it challenges your responsibility. You have to be responsible now. And so before, there was no commitment